So, as you approach, the glowing lady inn bucks into you. This is a familiar sight. The sounds, the warm glow. It serves as kind of a beacon amidst the night, a respite from the damp of the docks for crews who are looking for somewhere a bit calmer than the ever-boisterous Brazen Hydra Tavern down the way. The innkeeper, Obar, who you're friends with, spots you coming in and says, "Oh, oi! My friend, please have a table. I'll be with you in a moment."
You got it, Obar. We'll be in our usual spot. Got some company today. And, I imagine, I kind of make towards, my favorite little booth. And, I imagine me and Melbourne have been here several times. And, I kind of gesture for the two new friends to, sit in, our booth with us. I imagine Han Solo style. I like the, Mos Eisley.
As you're sitting down, Obar kind of sidles over. He's kind of a middle-aged man, balding a bit, but not overly bald or portly as of yet. He sets down a menu. It's like a chalkboard menu with the food written down on it that you can see here in the handout. And he says, "What will you be having? The usual, I assume, for you, Buxton."
Of course. I love those pickled beets. So good. I don't know, it must be the vinegar you use. Very delicious. Well,
And anything to drink for you?
Oh, you know what? Just give me some old Tobes.
And then he offers to take the orders from everyone else.
Yeah, I'll take the spinach mashed potatoes for 2, please.
Excellent choice.
Do you have
Oh, eating for 2, are you? Buxton, you rascal. A chameleon
no.
lass at that.
Oh, I know. I meant my dear sweet Thorn back here, and I push Horror up. Oh, no, he's not my type. I like more scales, on the body.
Yes, my first wife. I know exactly what you mean.
She says that now.
Leori pulls her cloak a little tighter as she's sitting down in the booth looking at the menu, and then slowly pulls her hood back and is like, "Bread and cheese, please, and 1 portion of your grain ale."
Fine choice, fresh in from Freljord. And Melbourne, yes. What was
Hi,
it?
Omar.
Do you need anything? He never knows quite what to do for you.
Just a rag. I have a little bit of a leak here.
Yes, a rag. Right on it. And he kind of
Do you
shuffles
have
off.
chamomile tea? Any tea instead of booze here?
I just give her a look
Yes, I'm sure I could rustle some up. And you hear him call back to his wife, Berga, where's that tea I got you for your birthday? As he's going back into the back room. The tavern is there's a few locals in here. No one seems to be paying much attention to you. Most likely they're completely unaware of what's happening. And it's also the kind of place where you just mind your own business anyway. So, Buxton, you would feel at ease here, even given the situation. Perhaps this is not the first time you've had a bounty on your head.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm feeling kind of confident. I kind of lean back in my chair, waiting for me beats to show up, and I'm just gonna kind of look around. Is there any talent playing today?
No talent. The stage is empty.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start absent-mindedly, just kind of humming a shanty. To say,
Oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead, Deshaun.
No, you go. I thought you were just singing.
Oh yeah, no, and then as I was doing, I was gonna turn around and say, "So, find ourselves in a little bit of a predicament."
Yeah, you said something about a red-headed orphan caused the explosion?
That's right. I saw the orphan. She placed a package in the stall moments before it exploded.
And is this what happens normally in Bilgewater? I'm not from here. Is this a common occurrence?
Define common occurrence.
It's happened a few times before.
Red-haired orphans blowing things up, or just explosions in general?
Well, I meant explosions in general. But do redheads usually cast explosions normally?
And Deshaun, Kayor, you would be familiar with this as well as, Buxton and Melbourne, obviously. Bilgewater has recently gone through a change in management, as it were. The Reaver King, Gangplank, who was basically in charge of all the gangs in the city, was recently taken down by Captain Fortune, who had who basically hates him for some things in her past which are unclear. Well, some people tell you that it's one thing, some another. But basically, there's recently been a scuffle between them, and Gangplank has been dethroned, which has kind of destabilized the city, which gave an opportunity for Noxus to come in and start establishing a bit of a rule here. And so Noxus has been hiring people, hiring captains to kind of join their navy and help them. They're not being clear about what it's about, but there are whispers of maybe another Ionian invasion. It kind of mirrors what happened last time.
And I assume that's what's all the unrest is causing a lot of these terrorist attacks.
So an attack on a Lieutenant Villeneuve's speech would not be uncommon for you to see. Attacks on Noxian bases or operations during a speech is pretty unprecedented, but she doesn't speak publicly very often.
So how long have the Noxians been here trying to mess stuff up?
Yeah, it's probably been a few months now.
So I guess if we what's the plan here? Are we gonna lay low? Are we free to should I just keep quiet?
I say we lay low for now, is what I feel, and then see if those Noxus bastards remember us in the morning. If they have a depiction of what we look like, then it's going to be harder to get business done in town. But it looks like we're peas of a pod for now.
As you're speaking, Obar shuffles back out and distributes food and drinks, etc. I'll trust you to deduct the correct currency. As he gets to Deshaun and Kaori, he takes a look at your coins. He says, "Oh, Ionian. You got to be careful with that. Some around here will charge you a little bit of an upcharge for that, for the money changing, but don't let that fool you. It doesn't cost us anything here in Bilgewater. All coin is good."
Thank you for your advice, sir.
Obar's a good lad.
Did you hear about what happened at the slaughter docks today? Some group planted a bomb. I can't believe it's probably that Captain Fortune again.
Did they we heard about it, but we didn't quite get any information about what they look like. Can you tell us what that group looked like? We're just trying to be careful,
Yeah, there's supposed to be some postings down on the bounty board, how they always do, but I never go down that way.
We appreciate your advice on these explosions and the unrest. Thank you.
Yeah, ever since that Reaver King, as he calls himself, Gangplank, joined up with the Noxians, that Captain Fortune has been a hot one for him.
Yep, Captain Fortune. That's exactly who I was gonna blame.
Obar, you wouldn't happen to know about any other unscrupulous... I should say, do you know if Misfortune deals with the orphans?
The orphans?
Do you know any red-headed orphans?
Well,
specifically a red-headed one.
Having been a red-headed orphan herself, some say she does have a soft spot, especially for that kind.
I share a look.
An orphanage around these parts, any?
No, certainly no orphanage, and you'd best be looking on the streets for that sort. Red-headed orphan, you say? Berga, What's the name of that whelp that comes begging around here sometimes? Annie. Annie. Well, every once in a while we see this girl Annie about, but I don't know if she could help you.
Her.
Do you know where she stays?
Streets, I assume, by the look of her.
What specifically? What does she look like? If we were to go like just give her some food and hang out with her, how would we find her?
Oh, I would say just looking about in Rat Town would be the best way to find an urchin. Short cropped red hair, wears a hat, funny backpack.
All right.
Her music stopped.
Well, thank you, Obar. Here, and I give him. I'm gonna give him the money for the pickled beets, which is 5 copper pieces, and I'm gonna give him the money for the old torb, which is a silver piece, and I'm gonna tip him another like two copper for the information.
Generous as always.
I'm gonna say get Burga something nice.
Will do. Well, you all just holler if you need anything.
How much for the chamomile tea? You didn't really say how much the tea goes for in Bilgewater.
Oh, that's on the house, and he kind of blushes and turns and shuffles away.
Oh, what a kind man he is. And I just kind of look to Thornback and start licking my thumb and trying to get his fluff fur all clean after what happened.
Sure.
And Thornback, is he on the table?
I would say, yeah, if we're at a table, he'd be on there.
I kind of give him a look, like kind of squinty eyes, and be like, I know you're kind. You gave me and Melbourne some hard times on that recent smuggling bout. You're wily, aren't you? And I kind of boop him on the head.
He just kind of like looks at you. He's just so happy and like it probably enjoys a little poke in his fluff. Oh, Thornback here. He is such a lovely kind fellow. He would do nothing of the sort to hurt nobody.
What does he do?
Sorry, what was that, Sir Melbourne?
What does he do?
Oh, well, he looks so cute and all. He's really good at smelling stuff and looking at stuff. And, yeah. He's just my best friend,
I get like
actually,
a really look in his face.
And
He doesn't look that good.
I'm gonna telepathically say to Poirot to charm Melbourne.
Oh.
Okay.
While all this is going on, Kaori is just very calmly eating like one of the pieces of cheese and then having a small bit of bread, just going back and forth, trying to be balanced.
Yeah, and so I'm sorry, it's Thornback, right? Thornback gives Melbourne his biggest Poro eyes. Like, unbelievably cute. Like, there's people at other tables, like, trying to look over Melbourne's shoulders just to see. But Melbourne, you are completely unaffected as a construct.
and I say,
Oh, maybe I see it. The big eyes can see more. Okay.
and I whisper over to Melbourne and I say, you probably don't want to be, it's probably good that you can't smell like this little lad can, because it's not not the most savory in here right now.
Living in Bilgewater, I think the machines every day I can't smell.
That's what Thornback looks like.
Oh my gosh.
Got a
That is pretty cute.
lotus flower in his fur.
I give him a roasted beet. A pickled beet.
Deshaun, how does he feel about a roasted beet?
He's more of a meat eater, but he does love some vegetables. Especially pickled. Loves pickled stuff.
Well, isn't he the cutest little thing? All right, just what brings y'all to port? And I kind of look at Kiori, and then kind of giving a side eye to Deshaun, trying not to look at the Poro.
Well, Deshaun and I met on the island of Ionia, and while we were both in the main cities, we decided to journey together because we were both in search of more knowledge.
Oh, we lost Alex for a minute there. He's coming back though.
I'm back.
All right, cool.
Searching
So,
for what kind of knowledge? I know everything there is about the sea.
Well, I am specifically seeking out more information about some individuals, especially individuals involved in the Noxus military, and Deshaun is seeking out some more information to strengthen her book.
Yeah, specifically, dark magic, curses, if you will. I'd love to know if you guys know anywhere that could tell me anything about this dark, possibly this marking, and I show my neck, that marking on her neck.
I'll give it a peek. Does it look like anything I know?
Yeah, it doesn't look familiar to you. It's kind of a crescent shape. But Deshaun, and I don't know if you're wanting to share this, but part of the reason that you would come was interest in the Temple of the Mother Serpent, just as a reminder.
Yep, so I would have mentioned that. Yeah, something about a Temple of a Mother Serpent in this area. I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, and this would be located actually at the around the top of Butcher's Bridge here. You can see it right up there. And it'd be well known. It's headed by the Kraken priestess Elawi, and it serves as the natives of the Serpent Isles would be the Buru people, and this is one of their sacred temples, right in the middle of Bilgewater.
Now, do I know that, or is that Buxton's telling me that?
Perhaps Buxton would be the one that would know this in Melbourne as well.
Temple of the Mother Serpent. It's a little bit of a weird place. I don't frequent it often, but we could potentially take you there. Well, I guess we don't have to. I could show you there, but if you want to head that way. What kind of book are you writing?
Oh, this, and I hold up my spell book. This is my spell book. It's pretty old. It looks old, but there's only a few spells in here at the moment. My master Putos from my island, he gave it to me and said to search out for these evil creatures to find out about my curse, and I want to stop curses from happening to other people.
That's laudable.
Did you say that's a load of bull? Sorry.
No, that's it's laudable. It's a term saying that it's a thing that I encourage. But you know what is a load of bull? I kind of get right to like Deshaun's face.
No.
Noxus. Noxus is a load of bull. Ain't that right, Melbourne?
That's right, Captain.
Yep.
On this, I believe we all agree.
Because of their false promises, these gilded lies they give sailor and smugglers alike. My ship was taken from me, and me captain be murdered. I take my hat off. I kind of hold it to my chest. I put it back on.
And is that why you're here, Buxton and Melbourne, to find who killed your captain?
Aye, that be me in goal here, but right now, to be honest, we're just trying to get a little bit of salvage, scrap, and coin.
By this point,
Nonsense.
you would notice Thornback has actually kind of shuffled over, and he's kind of sniffing at around Buxton. Where would you have the tentacle?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be kind of like he's not a very big guy, so I guess it would have to be like a pack.
Yeah.
It would be like a bulging pack, kind of just bulging with tentacle. I'm like, all right, little guy, just I don't know what you smell in there, but it's not for you. It's for the market when we can make it there without getting, waylaid by them noxious bastards.
Around this
I
time...
take out a meatball
please continue.
and feed it. Sorry, I take out a meatball and I feed it to Thornback and say, "Here, that's not very nice, Thornback. Come over here and sit next to me, Mama."
I just love that your Poro snacks are meatballs. I think the Freljordian ones are like cookies.
Well, we're meat eaters off in Ionia.
Yeah, for sure. Around this time, a middle-aged woman kind of comes out and out of the back, and she's kind of got a rag on her hand, and she's like, "Buxton, Melbourne, it's so good to see you two again." And she comes up to the table. "Oh, I hope that Obar was keeping you some good company."
Is this his
This
wife?
would be Burga. Yeah, his wife.
Burga. It's good to see you too. I thank you for sharing your tea with my new friend over here. This is Deshaun and Kaori.
Oh, it's a pleasure to
Kind
meet you both.
courtesy. It's delicious, quite magical. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a beautiful tail.
Oh, that's so nice of you. And I kind of flick it up, and it kind of sparkles.
And you, miss, you must be from Ionia.
I nod my head in a reverent manner, like, indeed I am.
We don't get many Ionians these days. So, Buxton, what are you doing here? What brings you back into port?
Oh well, me and my best bud here, Melbourne, we be looking for coin, and just trying to find the odd job. We went to that announcement, you could say, in the square earlier today. Nothing came of it, that I would call honest work.
Oh yes, I heard that the terrible Captain Fortune blew up another square. I'm not sure who's worse at this point.
Captain Fortune did it, yes.
Melbourne, always good to see you, and she kind of pats you on the shoulder with a clink clink.
Hello, Burga. Say you wouldn't know where to find this red-headed Annie orphan, would you? Your husband wasn't much help.
No. Well, that's Obar for you. Yeah, I couldn't. I believe she stays down by one of the old abandoned warehouses in the old warehouse district of Rat Town. Awful place. I offered her a job here, but she said she had employ elsewhere. Hard to believe by the state of her, but that's what I heard. What do you want with a girl like that?
Well, just curious.
We're philanthropists.
Oh well, it's at the corner of Anchor and Seaway.
Can you also tell me where these wanted posters are situated?
Looking to try your hand at the bounty board, are you? Oh yes, that's down near the slaughter docks. I'm sure Buxton and Melbourne know where it is. My husband doesn't like to go around there.
What's wrong with the slaughter docks? Is no one allowed down there?
Oh no, perfectly allowed, but there's the dock gangs, there's the wharf rats. Well, between those two, it's just dangerous enough.
For sure.
Plus, they smell something awful. Speaking of which, Buxton, why did you bring that in here?
Oh, I'm just transporting it to a vendor, just an odd job here. Just trying to, if you'd like, I could sell it to you.
Oh, no, I never trade in the stuff. Well, you all have a good night. I've got some washing up to do. It's nice to meet you, Kaori and Deshaun. Melbourne,
Same goes to you,
Bye,
Virgo.
Burga.
when are you gonna leave that angsty old pirate and come work for me?
Buddy.
She kind of
Is
heads
she
back.
talking to me?
Yeah, she was talking to Melbourne.
Oh.
You know I can never do that, Burga. He needs me.
I just kind of punch him. Playfully, but it's a little harder than
Oh my God. I
glide
rub my
down the-
shoulder. Oh my God. Berga, your jokes, they're funny, but have a good night. Give the kids a kiss from Buxton.
And as she leaves, she's like, "Oh, bar honey, give them some room keys. You know we're nowhere near full up, and they paid us enough." And he's like, "Fine. She'll never forget when you helped her with. Well, you remember what you helped her with." And he hands everyone. He gives you 2 sets of room keys.
What time of day is it at the moment? You said it was nighttime.
It would be like late, like dusk going into night.
Cool.
As we're getting the room keys, Kaori would lean forward, have her hands put together. It's like, we appreciate your kindness. Be well and balanced.
And you too, young lady. And he does kind of a weird bow. He's like not used to doing it, but trying to be more proper.
Once the Obar and Berger leave, I would say to Buxton, Melbourne, and Kaori, now I'm actually pretty keen to go to this Temple of the Mother Serpent, but I'm just thinking if you can show me where the wanted posters are, I was thinking that I could possibly take them down,
I
or
was thinking
even
the same
make
thing.
a mustache or something on them so we could distract them from actually seeing us, you know?
The greatest
Indeed.
disguise of all time, a simple mustache.
And that could delay them for a little bit. It's probably worth it. We could use whatever time we could get while we figure what the hell is going on here.
Actually, Buxton, you would know that the wanted posters would probably not be too far from the old warehouse district.
It wouldn't be that far from the old warehouse district. We could probably, while we're, going in that direction, we could kind of skedaddle over to those wanted posters.
So let me get it straight. Our plan is to find this Annie lady and figure out what's going on. Is that correct? Is that the end game here?
First thing, top of the morning, we'll head out, and if the winds are with us, we'll find her and take down those signs.
I'm just thinking, if you wanted me to go to those wanted posters, it might be best doing it at night.
I agree.
What do I know about the slaughter docks in the warehouse district at night, Luke?
So, night or day, there's going to be, a collection of, dock gangs, wharf rats. It doesn't really, the time of day doesn't matter so much. It just matters who it is. Closer to the actual bulletin board, the bounty board itself, there would be a number of bounty hunters who kind of hang out in that area, and Bilgewater is known for its bounty hunters. This is the kind of place where that is a thriving industry. There's bounties posted not only for locals, but there's bounties for people all over the world. There's actually a bounty out on the Reaver King himself, Gangplank, that he keeps upping because he wants to keep people to challenge him. It's used as a hiring tool. Actually, a bounty hunter will come after him, and he'll beat them and then hire them. And he says, if ever the day comes when one beats him, well, he knows that he deserved to be got.
That's fucking badass.
Awesome. Yeah.
But so isn't Misfortune a bounty hunter? Is that meta? Or is that...
Yeah. So she would have in her early days. She would have been known as a bounty hunter up and coming, and she worked her way up to where she could afford, a crew and a boat, etc., and had, kind of raised her fortunes.
Okay. Fortunes. All right. Well, Deshaun, you raise a good point. We probably could head there at night, but it's not quite. It's not dangerous in the sense of it's crawling with noxious guards, but there's gonna be plenty of bounty hunters and folks that will be a little curious as to why you be changing their targets. And since we are the targets, it might be a little bit risky to head there without a plan in place. I just warn you, I think it's badass. We should do it. I say, I know a tune that could make them fall asleep, a certain amount of them. And we could sneak up and then draw the mustache or what have you, but...
That Lieutenant Villeneuve DM,
Yes.
she a Nox? She's a Noxan, right?
Yes, and so you would know.
Is she higher?
Yeah, you would know that Lieutenant Villeneuve was actually one of the underlings of now General Grange, previously Lieutenant Grange, during the first Ionian invasion. And so, you know, through war and bloodshed and whatever, she's kind of followed him up the ranks, and he is now the one that is feared might be launching another Ionian invasion. And so she now presides over the whole Noxian effort in Bilgewater.
So when I first saw her, I'm just trying to see if I can use one of my abilities. I'm gonna put it in chat, my Shoma ability.
Oh yeah, I know this one.
But I need to like spend a minute observing her, but I don't know if I had enough time to do that.
You know what, I'll say, you know, you had enough time beforehand and during the speech, etc. You would have had about a minute or more.
I
How
could
long does
support
this
that
last
as well.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, I was saying I could support that as well, because hearing that she was speaking and seeing her, I would have been like, stop. I need to listen.
Yeah, okay.
So we could have had like a good focus.
And
Let's
how
see.
long does my Shoma last for? Doesn't really say.
Transform yourself and become an enemy. Let's say it lasts for the same as disguise self.
I think it's an hour, maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Oh,
Okay.
I should probably do it in here.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Cool. So we'll say an hour, and you can put that in the notes there.
How far, Buxton, is this the slaughter ducks with the Lana posters?
Oh, it's about 2.5 leagues.
Okay, well I have an ability that I can actually change myself into Lieutenant Villeneuve so I can get down and rip those posters off. If we wanted to, this is my kind of plan. Or we can just go straight for Annie, whatever you guys feel is appropriate.
Very interesting. I like your deception. I was going to suggest something similar, but a little more manipulative. I have my performance makeup with me, so if needed, I could be a distraction while you guys sneak in, if that would help to pull off any sea monkeys or whatnot, whatever you call the dirge around here.
Sea monkeys.
Well,
I say what we do then is I like the ideas. What we should do then is rest up for a bit, and then in that time I think we should try and make ourselves look a little different just in case. You know. And I take my hat and I put it on Melbourne. Oh, I can't take my hat off. I forgot I can't do that.
Well,
I take off my hat.
You just
I put
always
it on
have to have a
Melbourne.
head covering of some sort.
And then I take out a cloth and I put a bandana over, and then I just put it on my head.
I'm just imagining Buxton like trying to disguise himself. Like this guy right here.
Well, I can only use this ability once per day.
Perfect.
So I can do it tomorrow for sure.
No, I mean we could do mechanically
A short rest, yeah.
Yeah,
Rest
yeah.
for an
So
hour.
Melbourne- can
Oh,
get
I
his
thought you
health
meant
back.
a long rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a way that Melbourne, and I could do, I think, Song of Rest, or is that only for the long rest? No, Song of Rest, yeah. I could sing you a song, you know, those lullabies I do in Melbourne.
While you like tinker
Oh.
on yourself.
Yeah.
I like while I'm wearing this hat, I just like am like very proud, and I know I don't really have a mouth, I can't really show expression, but I'm just like blown away that I'm finally getting to wear a captain's hat.
Aww.
So
My
good.
heart.
Great. So yeah, you guys take a short rest. Can you pop Song of Rest in there, and then everyone can roll some hit die if you want to. I don't think any of our spellcasters get their spell slots back on short rests.
Maybe, unless you have Arcane Recovery, Deshaun.
I do. Well, unless that's a wizard thing. I don't know if that's an arcane thing.
It's a wizard thing. I don't know if it's an arcane thing, yeah. If it translated. But it would be short rest, and you can get, at this level, probably only one spell slot.
At the same level, you can use your soothing music or oration to help revitalize you to only one way. An extra 1d6. This extra hit points will increase. So you can spend your hit dice on them. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Nice.
It's a 1d6.
So Jonathan, you can roll those hit die.
Yeah, I think it's you have to full probably.
Yeah.
You guys are feeling pretty good after some drinks, some food. You kind of sing some of your songs. Some of the patrons kind of clap a little bit.
I'm gonna take my tentacle and put it underneath the bed.
Oh, in your room? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna smell great in the morning. All right, so yeah, you guys get all ready. Does anyone do anything else to prepare or during this period?
I would do a little bit of like some kind of like meditation, and then also a little bit of like stretch and flexibility, where it's like doing handstands and like different things to make sure that I'm limber and to get my center back for balance.
Great. And rested and repaired and prepared after your encounter at the slaughter docks, you make your way out of the glowing lady. It's a little darker, there's a few less people about, and you leave the warm glow of this kind of safe haven into the night, wondering, who is this Annie? What does she have to do with Captain Fortune? What do the Noxians want? Why is there a bounty on your head? Heading in that direction. And I think we'll call it there for the time being.